because believe it or not all problems are solved by creating bots. Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Senior Automation, and what a 2020 it's been today. With most of us being impacted and having to spend a lot of our time at our home, there's no better time than now to learn a new skill. So when society opens back up, we can go back out there with a newfound armed knowledge. Now, these are the top 6 skills in addition, which will help out your RPA knowledge in your career or even in your hobby that you can pick up in these times. There'll be a link in the description below where you can jump to where I talk about each skill and why it's applicable. And without further ado, let's get into it. First cab off the rank is API integration. API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it's a way for different programs to actually communicate and exchange data with each other in a common language. In a lot of RPA solutions, this all comes for free out of the box, such as Blue Prism, UiPath, and so on, but they don't support everything out there. For example, you might want to integrate with Salesforce or ServiceNow, and whilst there will be connectors out of the box, if Salesforce or ServiceNow releases a new API, those connectors won't support it straight away, and also sometimes they won't support all those types of connectors, and some products simply don't have connectors within RPA. So it's super useful to know how to manually set it up yourself through using these API integrations that RPA products can interact with these. And not only that, over traditional UI automation, this can actually speed up your automations up to 10 times speed. I had one I worked on myself. The automation would take about 10 minutes to get data from a ServiceNow system. Using an API integration, cut that down from 10 minutes to 10 seconds to get that data, because it was just connecting directly to the application, grabbing the data out of it, rather than having to log in, navigate through all the UI to get to the data it needs. Next up is coding. Many products like Blue Prism will support a coding step, or even Automation Anywhere will support adding Python or scripting code. And coding is a super flexible, super versatile skill to have. You don't need to know it in heaps of detail, but it does help you develop and solve RPA problems in general, because it's very akin to coding, and also design solutions. An example that I've had is we had an automation in Blue Prism. It was searching through a huge Excel document, about 10,000 rows, and it was taking about 10 minutes to search through this every time the loop ran. By utilizing something called a Hashmap, that took that down from 10 minutes to 1 second. I'm not even joking. A Hashmap's pretty complicated. I've got a link to how it works on one of my other YouTube channels below, but it's just good to know that it's out there and you can leverage it, and you know how to set up code. That's good enough, because you can easily go to resources online such as Stack Overflow as to how to solve those coding problems you might encounter. So really recommend learning it. It will just help your mindset when you're thinking about these problems. Next up, we've got a secret skill, which is to smash that YouTube like button. That will help my channel out with the YouTube algorithm, and will float the video up to the top of the recommended results and help out everyone in the RPA community greatly. So make sure you smash that like button for me. Next up, we have Agile. Many projects are run using a form of Agile these days, whether it's Scrum or Kanban. I actually use Agile in my personal life. As you can see on screen now, I have my Agile wall where I manage content I'm creating for YouTube, online courses I'm creating, and just general goals like learning the Japanese language or going to the gym. So it's a really good skill to have, and it can transfer into a lot of different industries within technology. So by being able to run an Agile RPA project, you can easily go and run other projects that use the Agile methodology. You'll just know how it works. And there's many different roles within Agile, such as a team, the Scrum Master, the product owner, and so on. Next up we have is design thinking. Design thinking is a really cool toolkit which you can use to solve problems. It typically will become before you actually implement a solution, because believe it or not all problems are solved by creating bots. What design thinking can do, it can allow you to think about how you can actually re-engineer a process before you go looking at automating it. because you might actually save a ton of time by improving the way the process is actually set up within the business rather than automating the process itself. So design thinking gives you these tools to think out of the box, get a lot of different people together, get them all in one room, standing up, walking around, and they can share ideas and vote on what they think are the best ideas. And then from those, take them forward and see from those best ideas, what's the most realistic one you can implement it. Then you can go and take that forward in the business to help out actually improving a process. Then we have SQL. SQL stands for Simple Query Language. It's a way of directly interacting with databases using this query language, which is a mix between RPA and coding. It's not quite as easy as RPA to set up and get going, but it's not quite as difficult as learning to code. It sits somewhere in the middle. And as I mentioned, it's a way you can directly integrate with databases. So instead of using UI automation, you can directly connect to the database to read and write data. So knowing this can speed up your automations quite a lot. And not just that, a lot of these RPA products will have analytics inbuilt, or you can actually expose your data to analytic platforms such as Tableau and Power BI. And knowing SQL will allow you to set up your dashboards to understand what processes aren't running so well, what processes are getting your most return on hours, and so on. So it's super useful to know this. And last but not least, we have machine learning. This is an up and coming area, especially in RPA. A lot of vendors such as Microsoft, Google, and Amazon are making it super easy to integrate your processes with their machine learning platform. And you can do things such as detect objects in an image. So you could give a process a photo of an animal and it could detect if there's a dog, if it's a cat, or so on. Different types of documents such as an invoice, and then it could actually extract data from a handwritten document or a scanned document like the invoice and actually get it into your process as actual text you can search and action on. So this really takes RPA process to the next level, and it unlocks a whole bunch of existing areas you couldn't otherwise automate because you do need sometimes some smarts in your bots. So if there's anything else you're learning or there's something you plan on learning, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe. Catch you later.